Hello guys, today I would like to share with you one of the horse question for trial exam Mabo, paper 2, Kedah. So as I mentioned in my previous video, the steps involved to solve the horse, is actually start with a U, P, I, C. What is U? Understanding the question, right? Okay, if you refer to my previous video, I actually highlight your step 1 is you have to understand thoroughly the question, and step 2 is you must know how to planning the strategy. Alright, okay, strategy means that you connect to the topic and the formula that you need to use. And step 3 is I is implementing. Okay, implement the strategy. Alright, implement the strategy that you planned out just now. And then step 4 is C. What is C? C is checking the answer, right? So you can explore different way to check the answer. Alright, okay, so these are the 4 steps that I introduced you in my previous video, right? So checking the step meaning that you can actually press a calculators, or you can use alternative solution. Example, maybe you try to use cosine rule and you found out the answer. Then if you think you can apply the sine rule, why not you try to use a sine rule to try to do again, so that you can get the answer. So that is so-called UPIC. Alright, remember my advice. This is a very useful strategy in solving all the hot question, right? All the hot question. Alright, so remember UPIC, up IC. Okay, settle. I have teach you how to solve the hot question. Now we will go to the question and read through the question. Make sure you really understand the question. So today I would like to discuss section C for hot question. This is a very good question for you to attempt before SPM exam. So let's get started with the reading of the question. Rashid was driving his boat towards west. Okay, alright, so we have to highlight the keywords. So the keywords is west, right? Okay, he saw a lighthouse in about 25 kilometers is the keywords again. 235 bearing is a keywords again. Alright, 235. From where? From original point. This is very important. And most important is this one, the angle. You must really understand the meaning. The west, you understand west? West is the position of Rashid, right? Rashid's boat reached west. Then from that place west to the lighthouse, the angle must be obtuse. Oh wow, this is a very important keywords. Whenever you see obtuse angle, you will think about one of the special case in solution of triangle, which is ambiguous case, right? So this one is actually involving ambiguous case. So we are going to solve this one slowly. It's okay. Let's see what the question one. Construct a diagram. Yes. Whenever you need to solve the hot question, after you understand the question, you have to draw. Okay, let's draw it now. So let's draw. Beginning, Rashid is here. So we use a dot to represent origin. Okay, so let's say this is the position for Rashid. Rashid traveled to the west, right? So okay, this is a position for west. Alright, And then the question say the bearing of the Rashid, okay, to the lighthouse. So you actually learn bearing in mathematics, right? Okay, now you need to apply here. So let's draw the bearing. Okay, so you have to draw the north, right? And then you have to measure the angle like this, clockwise, and then you draw the line, isn't it? And then this line, okay, let's see how to make it. Alright, we need to fulfill the condition of the question. Okay, so I'm going to erase again some space. Let me, okay, so alright, so I'm going to make sure I have the triangle follow the instruction of the question, because the question say the lighthouse is, let's say, is here, so you draw a line, and this is a bearing 235 degree, right? And you must make sure this angle is obtuse. Okay, this angle is obtuse, that's why I extend the line. Alright, so let's say this is a lighthouse. Okay, this is a lighthouse. Okay, so we have actually labeled the position of the lighthouse. So now the angle here should be obtuse. This angle should be obtuse. Okay, this angle should be obtuse. Condition must be there. Okay, so we have labeled everything ready. So now we can try to solve. This is the lighthouse. Let's get label. Okay. Alright, so this is the position for Rashid's boat. So let's imagine that this is the boat. Starting is here, the boat. Okay, starting point. This is at origin. Then the boat reach here. Okay, and then the position. Okay, have to follow the question, and it must be obtuse. Alright, so construct. Alright, we have construct the diagram already. Construct. Okay, let's see. Construct a diagram to show this situation. So now let's get label. The angle, okay, is obtuse, and then the distance lighthouse to Rashid original place is, it was given, right? So the distance is 25 kilometer, right? Okay, basically this is a drawing. What is the distance? Let's solve the question. What is the distance? Okay, travel by the boat. Okay, if the distance, okay, boat to the lighthouse, okay, boat to the lighthouse is 16 kilometer, right? That means this distance 16 kilometer. So the question is asking the distance. So the distance, it means this distance, x. I see that I label with the x. Okay, so that is the distance that you're supposed to find. Okay, so you need to find the x. Alright, so let's try to figure out. You have a triangle. So this is actually this is 90, 180, 270. So this is 270 minus this angle is 270 minus 235, right? So it's 35, isn't it? Right, 35 degree. Okay, so now we are asking to find the distance x. This is x. Okay, we need to find x. So in order to find x, you can use a sine rule. You have to find the angle first, or you can use cosine rule in fact, but we will have a quadratic equation. So if you have a quadratic equation, it's a bit confused. So now I would like to find this angle. Let's say this is theta 1. Okay, let's find the theta 1. Okay, so we use a sine rule because we can see there is a pair of angle and the side, right? So let's get start to find the angle using the sine rule. Okay, let me find a space to do. I'm going to do, okay, I do here so that you can see. So sine theta 1 over 25, right? See or not? Theta 1 over 25 is equal to sine 35, and 35 is facing to 16, right? Sine 35 degree over 16, right? So if you solve the theta, sine theta 1 is 25 sine 35 degree over 16, right? So now for your information, for sine, if it is positive, you should expect two answers, you know. So you will get the, because for all the trigonometric angle, it actually have two quadrant, which is positive, right? And two quadrant, it will be negative, right? So you have all sine teacher crazy, right? Okay, so we have, if you press a calculator, you will have 63.66, right, your theta. And actually, in fact, this is not your theta 1, this is just the theta first, 63.66 degree, and the other one is obtuse. So you take 180 degree minus 63.66 degree. Alright, so your answer should be obtuse. Okay, so what is the answer? Is, so your theta, you have 63.66 degree and 116.34 degree, right? Okay, that means that theta 1 here should be obtuse. So this angle should be 116 it should be 116.34, right? Because it's obtuse, right? Okay, we have settled the angle, then we have to find the distance. So we can find this angle. Okay, this angle is, you take 180 degree minus 116.34 minus out 35 degree, right? So you will have the answer, which is 20 something. Okay, so you try to solve it. Okay, so let's say you have the answer for this angle, then you will take the, okay, you want to find the x, right? So let me show you. So we draw again, 180 minus, okay, so you work out the angle for me. So alright, so now I'm going to label the angle here. This is actually 180 point, okay, 116.34. If you minus, let's work out the angle first. So it's 180, okay, minus 151.34, right? If I add the two angles, this two is 151.34, so I get 6. Here I got 6, right? And then I will get the angle here. Okay, here will be okay, this is 28.66, right? So okay, this angle is 28.66. I will label here 28.66. Okay, this angle 28.66. Okay, now we can find the x easily, you know. So you have the x. Let me show you. You see, you have the x. Alright, so the x is here. So the x here, and this is the angle, and you can use a 35 and 16. Alright, so if I write the working, it will be something like this: x over sine 28.66 is equal to 16 over sine 35. Okay, then you will get your answer for the x, which is 13.38 kilometer, right? Alright, settle, you found your x, which is 13.38 kilometer. Okay, settle. So we have solved the x, which is the alright distance. Okay, so we have solved this one. Distance, measure the distance between the first point and second point. This one we haven't solved. Okay, we have solved this. Distance, the boat from the lighthouse. This is 13.38 kilometer. We have solved this, right? Okay, now we are going to solve the other one. Okay, let's see what the question asks. Okay, so now, alright, so the other part of the story, let's understand the story. Okay, Rashid continued his journey when the distance from the lighthouse is again 16 kilometers. Measure the distance between the first point and the second point. Okay, so that means, and then we are asking to find the bearing of the lighthouse from the boat at the second point. Okay, what's the meaning is, alright, we draw again so that you won't be so confused. Starting, we have a boat here. Rashid is here. Travel to the west. Okay, west here. This is a boat. Okay, its origin. This is west one. And then just now we have drawn like this, right? This is 25. This is 16, right? And we found out here is 13.38, right? And here we have 35, right? And here we have 116.34, right? And here is 28.66, right? Okay, let's see. Yeah, 28.66. Alright, so okay, so this is 28.66. Okay, the other part of the story is like this. Rashid continue. Okay, alright, so let's continue like this, and this distance become longer, and again the distance from the lighthouse. Okay, this is the distance from the lighthouse. This is 16. This one should be again 16. So this is position number 2. So this is ambiguous case, right? Isn't it ambiguous case? It's a lighthouse. So it's 16 again means it's isosceles. So now it's very simple. We can work out the angle like this. You can find this, right? It's just using the 180 minus out the 116.34, which is actually, just now we got the answer already, 63.66 degree, right? Alright, so now the question is asking you to find the distance. What is the distance between the first point and the second point? That means you are asking to find this distance, right? X. Just now you have 13.38. So that means you will actually focus to the triangle. Okay, I'm going to highlight to you like this. You use this triangle, this one that I highlight to you, this one. Okay, then this one. Alright, so it's ambiguous case, so it's a bit confused. So let's say we are going to find, before we can find the difference for this one. Okay, we don't use x. Okay, we find this one first. Alright, we find this one. Let's say we call this as y. Right, we call as y. The distance here is y. Okay, so we have all the angle, so we can find the y. Alright, so how to find the y? You can use okay, so you can actually find out this angle also, right? Alright, so if you find out this angle is actually 180 minus our 633.66 times 2, right? Okay, so then you just focus to the big yellow triangle and you solve, or you can actually use cosine rule to find, or you can use the small one to find also, no problem. You can use many solution, right? So if you use the okay, let's say you use the y over sine this angle, okay, 180 minus 63.66 times 2, okay, you solve it, is equal to you can use 35 and 16, okay, right? So then you solve the y, so the y should be longer, which is 27.58, right, kilometer. So because the question want the difference, okay, so we will take the 27.58 minus out 13.38 kilometer. So the answer is actually, if you calculate properly, is 14.2 kilometer, right? Are you getting this answer? 14.2 kilometer. So that is actually the strategy that you plan out and you implement your strategy. And finally, it's very simple, the last question. The last question is asking for bearing, right? Bearing. Okay, so lighthouse, the boat at the second point. So let's go to the second point. Where is the second point? Okay, the second point is here. This is the second point. You can see that. I'm going to draw the north because we need to read the bearing. So this is 90, isn't it? So 90 plus 63.66 will do. Okay, so your answer should be 90, right? 90, and then you plus with the 63.66. That is the bearing for this question. All right, so the answer should be, let's write down the answer, is 90 plus 63.66, so is 153.66. so the bearing should be in 3 digit, right? Okay, with the 0.66 is okay. So that's the bearing of the lighthouse from the boat at the second point. And I think that's all for the solving problem involving solution of triangle and involving ambiguous case. So I think this is a very interesting question, and I think you should actually attempt and try to understand how to work the solution, maybe using alternative method, maybe cosine rule. Okay, so I think that's all my sharing for today. I shall share with you more horse question in my coming video sharing session. So till then, I shall see you in my next video teaching. Bye bye and have a nice day.